ফ্রেন্ডস স্টুডেন্টস সবাইকে আরেকবার স্টাডি সার্কেলে ওয়েলকাম করছি। আমি সুদীপ্ত স্যার তোমাদের সাথে আজকে ডিসকাস করব ম্যাথসের ফ্র্যাকশনস। নাও যারা ক্লাস 3 অনওয়ার্ডস যারা রয়েছে 3 থেকে 6 অর মোর 4 থেকে 6 যারা আছো তাদের ফ্র্যাকশনস পার্টটা রয়েছে, তো আমি টোটালটাই ডিসকাশন করব। তো যতটুকু সম্ভব এই ভিডিওটি অথবা নেক্সট ভিডিওতে আমি কনক্লুড করব। তো ফ্র্যাকশনস, হোয়াট ডু ইউ মিন বাই আ ফ্র্যাকশনস? নাও আমরা যেটা জানি একটা হোল নাম্বার, সাপোজ দিস ইজ হোয়াট, দিস ইজ 1, নাও দিস ইজ 1 সার্কেল। যদি আমি ফিগারে বলি দিস ইজ 1 সার্কেল। নাও আই এম ডিভাইডিং দ্য সার্কেল ইন্টু পার্টস। সো দেয়ার আর 4 পার্টস, নট ইকুয়াল বাট আনইকুয়াল হয়ে গেছে। আমি যদি একটু মুছে দিয়ে ঠিক করি, দেন আই এম ডিভাইডিং ইট ইন্টু 4 equal parts. Now this part 1 2 3 4, so this circle I have divided into 4 equal parts. ভালো করে শুনবে তোমরা। So I am taking this part, so out of 3 parts, out of 4 parts I am taking 1 part. So out of 4 part I am taking 1 part. So এটাকে কিভাবে আমি describe করব বা represent করব? So I should write 1/4. So out of 4 parts I am taking 1 part, the shaded part I am taking. So this number is called the fraction. That means fraction is a part of a whole number. So definition of a fraction, it is a part of a whole. It is a part of a whole number. This is called a fraction. So 1/4, I am representing this part as 1/4. Out of 4 parts I am taking 1 part. Now fraction number, this is not a whole number, this is a fraction. So this has 2 parts. The upper part is called the numerator and the lower part is called the denominator. So fraction has 2 parts. The upper part is called the numerator and the lower part is called the denominator. This is a simple fraction. Now a fraction, as you know, is a part of a whole. So there are various types of fractions. Now I should discuss all these things. First of all is equivalent fraction. First of all is equivalent fraction. Now what is equivalent fraction? A fraction can be written in different ways. Suppose for example 1/2, 2/4, 4/8, likewise. So if I cancel it, suppose if I divide it, this means it cannot be divided further. This is the least number possible, 1/2. We cannot divide anything further. It will come in decimal but not in a certain whole number. This is a whole number ratio or part, you can say. Now 2/4, if I divide the numerator by 2 and the denominator by 2, then it comes to be half. 4/8, if I divide this both the number by 4, then it comes to be 1/2. So all these three are equivalent fraction, because if these two are being divided by a certain common number among both the numerator and denominator, then it comes to the least possible number. So this is the equivalent fraction. Now what is the definition? Equivalent fraction can be formed by multiplying or dividing the numerator and denominator by the same number. So the number which has to be divided means has to be the same number. Like say for example, if I divide the numerator by 3 and denominator by 4, then it is a different case. But I have to divide the numerator by the same number. Say for example, here I am dividing the numerator by 2 and the denominator by 2. so it comes to half. So this is called the equivalent fraction, where we are dividing the numerator and the denominator by a common example, a common factor. Next, I should discuss the types of fraction. Now, types of fractions altogether I have written there are 5 types of fractions. দেখো হেডিংটাই লিখে দিয়েছি তোমাদের ভিডিওটির সময় বাঁচানোর জন্য. So first of all is like fractions. Now what are like fractions? Fractions having the same denominator are called the like fractions. আমরা denominator জানি কি. Now if I say write these numbers, so these are all like fractions. Unlike fractions, fractions having different denominator are called unlike fractions. Numerator may be same or maybe not, but denominators are different. So these are unlike fractions. Now third is proper fractions. When the numerator of a fraction is less than the denominator, then it is called a proper fraction. Like this one, 2/4 or 3/9 or 6/7. Now these are all proper fractions when the denominator is less than the the numerator is less than the denominator, then it is called the proper fractions. Now improper fractions, when the numerator of a fraction is greater than the denominator, then it is called improper fraction, like 6/3, 12/8, 10/7. These are all called improper fractions. Now the fifth one is mixed number or mixed fractions. Now mixed number is a mixture of whole number and a proper fraction. So it is a whole number and a proper fraction. So improper fraction we generally change it into mixed fraction. অঙ্ক করতে গেলে when we are doing the sums, we should change the improper fraction to mixed fraction. Suppose 6/3, then it should be divided by a common divided by 3, because the denominator is 3. So 3 is becoming 2. Now if I divide 12/8, so 12/8 becomes upon mixed fractions, 8 ones are 8 and 4 12. So 1 and 4/8 becomes 12/8. Now 10/7, if we write in the mixed fraction, it should be 1 and 3/7. So what happens in this case of mixed fraction? We have to multiply these two, like 7 ones are 7, and add the numerator. So plus 3 gives 10/7. Now improper fraction, here you've always I have told you that when the numerator is greater than the denominator, that has to be changed into mixed fraction while doing the sum. Now if there is 10/7, so upon the division with the denominator, you have to divide the numerator by the denominator with a whole number. Suppose 7 ones are 7, then the nearest whole, that means it goes up to 7, then carry is 3, so 3 you have to write in the numerator. So 7 ones are 7 plus 3 gives 10/7. This is a mixed fraction. So these are altogether the 5 types of fractions and how you have to represent. Now for sums, I should discuss a few examples, like for examples for the lower classes, and because these are the basic things. So if I say this part, this is a whole circle, I am dividing the circle into several parts. Now 1 2 3 4 5 6, so altogether I have divided this circle into 6 parts. Now taking the 2 part from the 6 part, you are be given in the school or in the examination, like if you have to represent the 2/6 then how will you represent? So this is a total of 6 parts I have divided. So out of 6 parts I take any 2 part. So this 2 part has to be shaded. Any 2 part you can take, either to the adjacent or vertically opposite, whatever it is. So here I have taken 2 out of 6. So I should write here 2 on the numerator and denominator 6. Now for another example, it can be any figure. For example, number 2. I am drawing a square box. Now I am dividing this into several divisions. Now here also count the divisions. Any form, any point you can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Either you can count clockwise or you can count anti-clockwise. Whichever you feel it, you can count it. Now out of 8 parts, suppose you are being told you mark 3 by 8. So that means out of 8 parts, you should take 3 parts. So any 3 part you can take, that has to be shaded. So I am taking this one, this for your easy understanding. I have taken this 3. So here I should write here 3 by 8. উল্টো করেও দেওয়া যেতে পারে on the reverse. Sometimes it is being asked that it is given 3 by 8. Now you have to shade that part. So you have to do it in this way. So এই আজকে টোটাল এই ফ্র্যাকশনসটা নিয়ে একটু ব্রিফ ডিসকাশন করলাম। আশা করি তোমাদের ভিডিওটা খুব বেনিফিট হবে। যারা জুনিয়র ক্লাসে আছো তারা বুঝতে পারবে হাউ টু রাইট অ্যান্ড ফ্র্যাকশন। যদি ভিডিওটা ভালো লেগে থাকে আরেকবার বলবো যে তোমরা লাইক শেয়ার করো, আর চ্যানেলে নতুন হলে অবশ্যই সাবস্ক্রাইব করে বেল বাটনটি অন রেখো যাতে পরবর্তী নোটিফিকেশন তোমরা পেতে থাকো। আজকে ভিডিওটি সময় দিয়ে শোনার জন্য সবাইকে অনেক থ্যাঙ্কস।